she stands with the other one. I really liked it. So I like to see, I am fine now with Gina, Emily, Tamra. I love Vicki. I think we've really missed Vicki. I just think.
And none of this is confirmed yet.
None of it's confirmed. Vicki said all or nothing, and maybe Vicki wants too much money and they're going to kick her to the curb. But I do think that they want.
You do. If she sticks to that, if she sticks to her all or nothing, I want the same salary. I mean, she's another one shooting her mouth off, and then it's like, well, here's half your salary and an orange. You sleep on it, girlfriend, and let us know. I don't think Victoria's turning that down. That's my opinion. That's my opinion.
Oh, I think Vicki wants back real bad.
Real bad.
I do think Vicki brings a lot. I do. I mean, Vicki is a hot mess, even at 60-something years old. And it's entertaining to watch. And the Tres Amigas are, interesting to watch, and are kind of mean girls all together. And, you kind of want to see them put in their place. And then you also like their friendship that they have and how it ebbs and flows. Yeah, I like this new lineup. And
Emily Simpson.
In the mix
she's there. Yep. Emily Simpson at Kathy's Christmas party said she believes that herself, Gina, and Tamra and Heather are the shoo-ins, and she's not sure about Shannon. She's not sure. So, I mean, like, who knows? But listen, I think the most interesting part about the whole thing is girlfriend got a taste of the fame. That Alexis Bellino, she said for years, oh, I'm so happy in life. I don't know. Her mother passes away. That does change someone. She gets rid of the boyfriend. She goes to BravoCon. They all scream her name. She has this picture taken with John Janssen, which she's now said they were in the same place at the Quiet Woman at the same time, that everyone at her table and his table were like, you guys have to meet. You have to meet, just as like a Housewives, 1 degree of separation. He came over to the table. He was sitting there. This is what Alexis said. She didn't take the picture. Nobody knows who took the picture. It ended up on social media. And when they were taking the picture, Alexis is like, oh my God, don't take a picture. It's going to get read the wrong way. She says there's nothing going on with John Janssen, but I call bullshit. I think Alexis went from 0 to 100 in 1 day. Girlfriend was over the fame because she had no choice. And now that the carrot's being dangled, I mean, she's out with John, the picture. She's at Kathy's Christmas party, driving up as fast as she can from the OC, swerving in and out of traffic. Get me to Kathy's. Goes into the bathroom, takes a picture, posts it. The girls are out, and thank you, Tamra. Jesus Jugs is alive and well, and I will always own the Jesus Jugs name. I mean, I've never seen someone go from like 0 to being off the show to being back in every fucking post so fast in my life. But I do think Alexis is, look, to your point, but you always say, Sarah, we tried it. We try to mix it all up. Now we're trying to backpedal. We like ruined the OC by trying to mix it up. We ruined New York. We ruined this franchise. To your point, we talked last time, Mary Cosby, probably just let her stay. Like, what's the difference? It's like the devil. I think they tried to bring Heather Dubrow back. She came. It was great. It didn't do what they needed to. They tried to bring that Tamra Judge back. Yeah, she helped, but she didn't really. I mean, so to get the OC back on track, I think they're like, we're done. It's time. Alexis lost her mother. She broke up with this guy. She had this new phase of her life. Now she's fucking out with John Janssen. Yeah, I think this is all helping Alexis, and she's going. I think that is a shoo-in, and I think it's the most interesting, actually. I think it's going to be interesting.
I do too. And, I mean, I feel like we talk about this, the producers love, they love to stir the pot, and nothing would stir the pot more than like if Alexis goes out on a couple dates with John. And here we know Shannon, who has confessed, they always do find your weak link. I mean, that is like what they do. Your kryptonite. I mean, how devastating for Shannon. It's almost like, I hope they don't do this because it doesn't seem right. But, did they bring Alexis back? She starts hanging out with John. And here you have Shannon. That's the love of her life. She's just had this DUI, this really low point. I don't know. I mean, and then the Tres Amigas rally around her and everybody hates Alexis. Alexis is this home wrecker, even though John and Shannon were not married. But yeah, I could see it. I mean, couldn't you see it? Like, doesn't it just write itself?
It just writes itself. We know the girl already. I mean, they've circled around Alexis in the past. I've always said she's the one, to me, like the dark horse in the race of like, you have this person whose life has changed. I mean, when we saw Alexis, she was married to a man that the world hated. I mean, he went on to sue that what is her name? Heather McDonald. He went on to sue that other woman, the rat that scurries, Tam. He went on to sue Shannon. They opened their big traps. And yeah, so now she's not with this man that everyone hates. Her life has changed, and now it's changed even more. We have this whole decade where we didn't even see the changes. Her children are grown. You know, she'll sit them down. The children will be like, I mean, we don't care. This one's in college. This one's got, you know, not college, but they're about to go to college. So it's like, I think that's happening, and I think it's interesting, and it kind of writes itself, like you say. I mean, I don't believe all those rumors that like Pedantry and Shannon, that Pedantry and Emily and Gina are in limbo. I don't know why they would get rid of Jen Pedantry. I think she had a great first season, right? I think she's came in with controversy, and I think Gina's the most expendable there, but I agree with you. Listen, this is why I've said, maybe you understand my statement now after doing thousands of housewife interviews. I always judge you based on how you were on my show, because it's a different person. It's always a different person. The people you think are so great, you're like, oh God, this person is so fake and they're just fame whore. And then other ones, you're like, this person is so real. I love them. So that's what you're experiencing with Gina. I don't know, but this is interesting. Look, I have some hope for the OC. I have some hope. I don't know.
Me too. I thought this season was so terrible. It was so boring. When they went out on that boat that you and I can afford, I was just like, I'm out. Like, I just, sorry. I know it's not interesting to me. It's not aspiring to me. It's not anything to me. And I kind of think the rat that scurries is a little in trouble here. I mean, in a way,
lots of people hate the woman.
In a way, you know, 2T's podcast could almost be 1T in a pod. I mean, you know, Teddy's sort of owning this and leaning in. And I don't know. I didn't think Tamra had this like amazing standout season. And it sounds like she and Eddie, her businesses are not thriving, although she says the CBD one is. So maybe that's the truth. I don't know. But I do think Tamra is great in the mix of the Tres Amigas. Like, I do think that's the thing. I think Vicki is a person that's a star on her own, but also elevates or like helps make the people around her look better. And that's like invaluable if you can do that as a entertainer, as a host, as a reality star. So we'll see. I think for sure they're bringing them back. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'll give it another shot, especially if it has this new lineup that they're floating.
You know what's not really getting a shot is RHOM. Now we have a couple of things. I love when people are saying these ratings are great and it's weeks later. You know, the overnights for RHOM are not good. Someone just sent them to me and it's like was in the